Dozens of community advocates rallied at City Hall in support of residents of the Poe Homes public housing projects in southwest Baltimore on June 26.
They failed us during the Freddie Gray riots. This is a second emergency. They failed us again. One, we need to come away whenever the president of the council has his hearing, we need to come away seeing in writing an emergency plan. The mayor has an office of emergency preparedness. We need to see that plan to make certain that we don't have a strike three.
After more than a week without adequate running water, city officials said on Tuesday, June 25th, water pressure was fully restored.
There are issues of life and safety and health. We need to be on point, timely, and responsive to the citizens of Baltimore, and not pretend as though we have any flexibility in addressing the life and safety and health issues for our citizens.
Residents said they lacked adequate running water since the start of last week due to water main issues, and it took Baltimore City's Department of Public Works days to respond.
Wanted it to be. What we do know is that once the city became aware of the issue, that work began immediately. However, those initial solutions were not solutions at all.
On Sunday, I went to the Poe Homes and spoke to residents and volunteers.
The water main break happened Sunday night into Monday morning, and from what I was told, the city did not respond till Thursday, Friday. So it's almost 5 days before the city had any resources down here to help the people.
So I came out here early Thursday morning. I live in Pigtown, and I met a couple of the ladies, and they explained to me that nobody from the city had been out here. They've had absolutely no attention. They had no porta potties.
In the areas surrounding Poe Homes, significant wealth and palpable poverty are just 1 block away from each other. It is less than a mile from City Hall and now sits in the shadow of University of Maryland Biopark. In 2016, Biopark's developer, Wexford Science and Technology, was approved for a $17.5 million TIF. And while Poe Homes was without water, ProPublica revealed how, with Maryland Governor Larry Hogan's help, billionaire Kevin Plank and his Port Covington development in South Baltimore won a Trump tax cut they shouldn't have gotten because it was meant to help poor areas.
Sort of following the data and wondering how this had qualified, we decided to put in some PIA requests with the governor's office and with the Department of Housing and Community Development. And we got back these emails that clearly showed that, one, they had met with the developers, and two, that they were aware that the area was too wealthy to qualify for the program.
While Baltimore developers like Plank have been showered with billions in taxpayer subsidies for decades, the failing water lines at Poe Homes point to decades of disinvestment in public housing, exacerbated by slow response from city officials, that many residents and activists point out would never happen in Tony neighborhoods such as Canton or Federal Hill. Meanwhile, back at Poe Homes, residents said the conditions were intolerable.
It tells us that there's second-class citizens, and that's who I see. That's who we're looked upon as second-class citizens. If you're not in a certain tax bracket or have a certain, because I don't want to put race in it, but it's just a reality that if you're not in a certain category, you're just second class.
Grab what you gotta grab.
The UN recognizes access to water and sanitation as a fundamental human right.
You know, city officials, I guess they got their method of doing it, but I think it's too slow. There's not enough urgency. Got people who cannot bathe, cannot cook, cannot clean, and to me it seems like they have a nonchalant attitude. We're trying to motivate them to do what's right and do it on a speedy time. Unfortunately, they're used to suffering. They're used to being treated bad, being neglected, and, you know, being looked over, put to last. So they're dealing with it, you know, the anger bills though, and, you know, the tension and desperation bills. So on the surface, it might seem like they're okay, but, you know, we know it's not healthy, it's not right.
On Saturday, DPW announced water was restored. The next day, however, Najee showed us there was almost no water pressure coming from the faucet in his kitchen.
This is the water they said is coming out. This is what they said that's fixed. It's not coming out. That's all we have.
Baltimore residents, activists, and community groups stepped up.
I'll open up a stall for you so you can actually take a look at it.
Aquo of Generosity Global, who provided mobile shower facilities, gave us a tour.
Enjoy the view. No city in America should have to deal with this type of crisis for so long. Yeah, things happen, but it's been a week. And so my question is, what is the city, do they have the proper resources to tackle this problem and bring it to an end?
And we should have learned our lesson, after Katrina, and we saw what happened in the marginalized communities and the lack of response. Like every city should have a program and a protocol built in for a response like this. Like it shouldn't have to be community organization. It shouldn't have to be ex-convicts stepping out. Like we're here. Where's the city officials? Where are the people that are paid to do this work? So, I don't have a problem shaming them. Like, shame on you, Get over here, let's look out for these families. There's kids in there that are getting stressed too, That's the thing that gets neglected in the whole conversation, is there's kids in those houses.
With Brandon Soderberg, this is Jessel Noor.